caught on something. No, it's not. Okay. Come on. Okay, so I had something I was going to start this with, but I lost it because I stayed up till 4:30 watching Parks and Recreation because I'm an idiot. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Your minor outburst of joy. So, you'll know when I'm done because I'm going to walk over there. And you'll know when I've started because I'm going to start talking about weird stuff. And you'll know when I'm not, when I'm transitioning, because I will stop talking about the same weird stuff. So, what I'm going to talk about right now is Moses, which is a weird one on a comedy show. Who said, oh gosh? Are you going to get offended?
No.
Please tell me if you do. I want to laugh at your misery. He's my friend. I can do that. That's the only reason why I did that. No, but Moses, look, as you go back in time, people got shorter, right? And Jesus was like 5'7", and he was tall, right? So Moses was probably about yay high. Okay, so Moses is yay high, and everyone else is yay high, right? So in that chase scene from the thing where the chariots are chasing him, the chariots are about yay high. Just think about that. And the horses are, again, yay high. So, also, as you go back, rivers and oceans get smaller because of the erosion, right? So the Red Sea was probably like a little puddle. So it's not that impressive now, is it? So, and also, side note, God was even like 1,000,000 years before that. So God's like that big. Okay, so God is like a little berry, right? So the story of Moses goes like, a girl didn't want her son, so she put him in a basket in a river. That's a really nice made basket. Okay, no water got in there, right? So the Pharaoh's wife was like, oh, look at the little baby. And she took him, right? Keep in mind, they're about yay high. So the basket is really small. It's an adorably small basket. They're like little dolls. It's great. And horrifying. So, she took him back, and then like he grew up, and he saw people getting beat up, right? Some Jewish people, right? So he was like, my Jewish senses are tingling. This isn't okay. So he was like, yo, stop doing this. This is not okay. And they were like, make me. So then he was like, fine, I'm telling mom. And his mom was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, fine, I'm going to go live in the desert. So he went out into the desert and he raised sheep for a living for like 10 years or something. I don't know. Why someone would go from being the prince of Egypt to raising sheep, that doesn't really make sense to me. You're not really moving up in the world in my eyes. So then he got a premonition or something from a burning bush. And we all know that's an allegory. No, an analogy, that's the one. Again, I slept an hour last night, and then I had a math test, and I'm not happy about it. So, what?
We didn't know about it.
Math quiz thing, I don't know. Oh, yeah. That's good. Thank you for reminding me. I did say I slept an hour last night, didn't I? And it wasn't a good hours of sleep. Because most of it I was showering, and then I fell asleep in the shower, and then I woke up. I'm not sure if I slept, actually. You're making me question my life. Why are you doing this to me? Anyways, so where was I? Farming sheep or something, right? Whatever. So Moses got a premonition from a burning bush, right, and went back and he was like, you need to set these people free. And they were like, no. And then he said, please. And they said, no. And he said, fine, I'm telling God, right? And he was like, you get 7 plagues, ha, 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 right? Because the Pharaoh is his brother, right? I don't really know. I didn't go to Sunday school. They wouldn't let me in Sunday school. You have to be like a good person to do that. So he's like, you get 7 plagues or whatever. And then everyone died, right? Which kind of makes him not the good guy to me. And then the Pharaoh's like, fine, you can take my slaves, right? And they took the slaves and they went out, right, across the little desert against the little people. Now, just imagine a caravan of people about yay tall, marching across the desert with bags on their backs, going to a new land, right? Now their legs must have been really short too, which could explain why they were wandering for 40 years, right? So then the Pharaoh was like looking over at his kingdom and was just like, crap, I should not have done that. So it was like, everyone get in your mini chariots and with your mini horses and we're going to go catch them, right? So then Moses was like, oh crap, they're catching up. So it was like, I split this puddle with the power of Berry God thing, right? He was like this tall. It's what makes sense. If you are offended, I want to say I'm sorry, but I'm probably not going to be. But think I am, because that would keep me from getting in trouble. So he did the thing and he split the little red puddle, right? And then the Pharaoh got wet and he ran back home crying. And now, since I don't have any transition material and it's fairly hard to relate the next topic to this topic, we're going to talk about an idea I had for a show in Spanish-speaking countries, and that's White Dora. Okay? Yes, I know, it's great, isn't it? It's great. We should get Miss Gabay in here. She'd love it. So here's my idea, right? Oh, it sounds better when I talk like this. Okay, so here's my idea, right? So in Spanish, you know how like we have like regular Dora, right? So, and okay, speaking of Dora, I have a little nephew, right? And he likes Dora, right? So he thought that every person in every country that speaks Spanish was just like Dora. He thought everything was like that. He thought all monkeys wore boots, and all foxes had that thing on their face, and everyone spoke little bits of Spanish, and no one really spoke Spanish. He really thought that. It was honest, and when I told him, when I thought he was joking, I laughed at it. It broke his little heart, and I felt terrible. So now I had to take him trick-or-treating to make up for it. I don't want to walk around with a little 40-pound weight on my shoulders moving for 3 hours. Sympathize, people. Anyways, what?
Get a wagon, man. Put him in the wagon and carry it.
He will jump out of the wagon. He jumped out of the wagon last year.
Duct tape.
You're smart. You're smart. Anyways, so I had to dress up like Gru or whatever the guy's name is with that scarf and stuff. I don't even look like him, right? He's like thin at the legs and stuff. And well, unlike the first guy, I don't like exercise. So White Dora, right? Like that's him thinking that that was what all people in Spain are like, right? Well, no, not exactly that. He thought all the guys were like Diego and all the girls were like Dora, right? Which is weird. He's only 2, so he's excused, right? So I think, right, we should have a program called White Dora or Dora de Blanco in Spanish-speaking countries, right? And it has Dora, but instead of outside and stuff, she's in a mall, right? If you're a white girl and I offend you, I apologize, because you are a very dangerous race of people. I'm kidding about the dangerous part. So she's like in a mall, right? And like they start and she's like, oh my God, we should get pumpkin spice lattes like right now. Right? Yeah, see, she just said it. She just said it. I was pointing in that general direction. I was definitely not pointing at the person in the 3rd seat on the front row. So, yeah, so she's like, oh my God, we should go get pumpkin spice lattes, guys. Yay! And then they go and they get pumpkin spice lattes, and like she gets lost in the middle and she's like, where's the map? And she stares at the screen for 5 minutes. And then, like, you can all estimate how she looks, right? You all know how she looks. You have an image in your head already of Dora, but paler with blonde hair, right? And a purse. See? That guy knows. Right? So she's like, where's the map? Several hours later. Where is the map? 4 years later. Where's the map? Okay, so after they finally find the map, she finally goes to Starbucks is like, can I have a pumpkin spice latte? And they say, it's May. You've been standing there for 8 years. And then all the kids are like, finally, they've made some progress in this show. I'm now 10 years old. Okay, so I didn't know what to do for my next topic. I was split on two things. Both of them would equally offend people. One of them would definitely get me kicked out, and the other one might get me kicked out. So I'm going to avoid that, and that's it. That's my best. Goodbye.